Martial arts epic is the martial arts, and we didn't want to just like copy stuff from movies, and knew that would run dry pretty quick and be too derivative. So we need to, to really get down and learn some like real traditional Chinese martial arts. And I had done martial arts as a kid. I hadn't practiced it in years, and
I had seen The Karate Kid.
I couldn't get before Avatar. I couldn't get Mike to watch a kung fu movie. So we said we're gonna have to find a consultant, like someone who's an expert in martial arts. We found Sifu Kisu, and I became his student.
I met this kid who's in my class. He started to excel at the techniques, which caught my attention, and talked about this idea he had for a show.
We pitched him the concept, and he just lit up. He got it right away, and he started talking about tornado power.
He talked about airbending in this little monk. It just immediately came to me. Bagua, which is based on the Book of Change, the I Ching. The water bending was something, soft that just could fit Tai Chi completely. The Fire Nation called for the, crisp, long, clean, cutting movements of Northern Shaolin. Earthbending, really tight, close movements, and that just screamed for the Hung Garp style.
There was also a Sifu Manny.
Let's bring in Master Manuel.
And he has this really distinct style of kung fu that was just like, I don't know, it's like rare, and rumor has it was founded by blind warriors on some remote island or something. It's very appropriate to the Toph character.
I practice a very obscure form called Chu Ka, commonly known as Southern Praying Mantis Kung Fu. One day, Kisu came and asked me, we're looking for an unusual style for a particular character in a project that we're working on, obviously Toph.
The basic stance for Toph was this, because she was blind, but I don't know how to express in English, but she just won.
I think this is a really good system for this blind character, because I don't have to look at all. Once I make contact, he goes to move, I'm already there, see?
Brian was really intrigued when he saw Manuel, because it's like, he comes walking out, he looks like a little Baptist preacher. You have no idea that you're close to one of the best fighters in the world.
When you watched a scene from Avatar, you would know, like, whoa, that looks kind of real, like that's based on something.
The director and Brian would break down a script and kind of work out and choreograph the fight scenes and stuff like that, and they'd all be videotaped.
You can videotape something and then watch it back instantly. So why not get a bunch of reference for animation? It's just going to look better.
Second one is big roundhouse kick, and then he lands on his ass.
We would do an average of 3 video sessions for every episode and every move.
I use those fans to close the gap with all those blocks.
You want to start like over by the speakers.
Like, we took several ideas from the videotapes, and then we used for actual storyboard, and so that we can reference and what kind of movement we are going to use, or specific angles, or what kind of fight.
There were a lot of fight scenes where we'd have, Aang versus Zuko.
There's always two characters if there's a fight, right?
Kisu would play one guy, and Brian would sub as the other, almost, exclusively.
And action.
Avatar was not an easy show to work on. I was not used to drawing stuff in all of these crazy angles. And then, like, Brian would say these crazy things like, you know, in this shot, I want you to kind of use, you know, like a wide-angle lens.
I just wanted it to be cinematic and have space, depth, and atmosphere. And you would see that in a lot of anime, you know, the stuff that we really connected with. Just this incredible observation of the real world, you know, and even if it was a fantasy thing, or they're just like, it was very filmic, you know, there was like lens differences in like what lenses they were drawing.
I mean lens, like it's a pencil on paper. I don't have a lens here. But he was going for this look, and like I had to learn all that stuff. And when you're like fresh out of a sitcom type show and you have a deadline and you're trying to draw these, you know, kung fu scenes with a wide angle lens, like that's crazy. Like they didn't prepare me for that in art school.
We really wanted this world to run very deep, and you know, the threats had to be real, and these characters had to be real and flawed.
A favorite character?
My favorite character?
Yeah.
Sokka, I think, was my favorite.
I can't say that there's one.
In a weird way, I kind of feel like I connect with all the characters, and I feel like that's what maybe a lot of the fans like. I feel like everyone maybe is a little bit of Katara, a little bit of Sokka, and a little bit of Zuko.
Everyone's favorite character, I guess, it's Zuko.
Definitely Zuko.
He has a destiny, he has a sad history.
He's always sulking, and it's really tormented all the time, and it's, oh, I gotta regain my honor and my dad and this relationship. I think the most beloved character, and the one I relate to most, is Uncle Iroh, because he's fat, he's just, you know, having a good time, he's kind of out on the adventure, and he's dealing with these kids.
I'm just kind of a fan of the old wise man archetype.
Such delicate humor and such a dear character.
This is a gujin. It's a Chinese zither. The instrument was created thousands of years ago.
That was in Uncle Iroh's, that was like his final song to his...
That's right, yeah, we used it in... right.
The track team is Ben Wynn and Jeremy Zuckerman, good friends of ours, who did the sound and music for the whole series. Like with everything on Avatar, we kind of did mix things up, and we didn't want to just use the same composers who would do the other shows, or, you know, we just wanted to get kind of a different vibe for the music and sound.
Once we knew we were doing Avatar, we started amassing random instruments. This is it's called the kalimba, and it's a African thumb piano.
This is a Chinese lute, another extremely old instrument.
I don't know, what do you even call these?
I guess bead drums.
It sounds like a battle cry or something.
I got a splinter from that. This is a duduk, Armenian wind instrument.
And these are all over Avatar because they're epic.
So after one of your episodes aired that you wrote, did you ever like go on the message boards to see like what the immediate reactions were?
No, for sure. I mean, we'd gotten a taste of it because of stuff people had been posting online. Like, you know, we didn't want to read too much, but you're curious.
I think we picked up some kind of anime terminology that we gleaned off the message boards at one point. Like, oh, we need more shipping from Aang and Katara. That means like, I guess it comes from the word relationship. Like when you see two people, you know, falling in love or kissing or something, that's shipping.
It's crazy how devoted people are to like, Aang's gonna hook up with Katara, no, Katara's gonna hook up with Zuko.
It's two factions of people who go for the Aang-Katara pairing, and then the Aang-Zuko. No, that's not right. the Zuko-Katara pairing.
Who hasn't felt like Aang at some point? When you're pursuing a girl and she's just gonna go after that guy who really doesn't care about her. Man.
You get nothing. It should be a script that's called The Surface Pass.
Andrea Romano was our voice director. She was fabulous. Growing up, I'd seen like Batman, the animated series, and some other, other cartoons. And so like when the time came, it was like, hey, we should get a voice director. Like, I wonder, the only person I know is Andrea. I've heard just great things about her.
I could do a whole seminar on gasping. What, is it a type of gasp? Is it a sharp type of gasp? Is it a gasp that has more voice to it, which would be, or is it a...
I always enjoyed when I could, just go watch the actors record.
Most people don't know that in animation, the voices are recorded first. And so it's kind of like the old radio plays, the way they were done. A lot of actors sitting in front of microphones with a music stand and a script, and basically running through rehearsal, recording.